Well, we have a special guest this morning, a familiar face to many people. Texas Tribune Editor-in-Chief Evan Smith is here to talk about some big plans in the works for this month's Texas Tribune Festival.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Hi, Sally. Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the festival.
Festival is now 3 years old, started in 2011, and it is an extension of our effort to put people in front of the elected officials who make laws and decide to spend their taxes and affect policies that impact all of us in the state. We talk about public education and immigration and healthcare and criminal justice all year long with these folks. And at the Tribune Festival, we bring all the big names together for one long weekend. It's kind of like Woodstock for political junkies.
I love it.
3 days of politics and policy discussions. And again, this year, a great lineup, and we're expecting to have a wonderful time.
And what's interesting about this festival is that this is a way for you to kind of really understand the things that your policymakers are doing that affects everybody in Texas, right?
Yeah, that's really it. You know, we see them at a distance do their work, whether it's the 140 days they're in session every 2 years at the legislature, or we see them at a farther distance away in Congress. We don't really get to know who they are, what they think, or why they do what they do as it impacts us, as you say. This weekend, we put them in a room with you. They have to answer hard questions from us. They have to answer hard questions from you, because you as constituents ought to get to ask them the same kinds of questions that we do. And again, we have everybody there. We have all the statewide elected officials, all the candidates for high office in 2014. We have a dozen members of our congressional delegation from Texas, plus Senator Ted Cruz, all the agency heads. It really is just about everybody in power coming together over 3 days to talk about the work of the state.
I was going to say, I haven't seen this much action with lawmakers since they were under the dome a few weeks ago.
Right, and of course we're happy to have them finally leave, but we'll welcome them back in September. And you know, I think that the seriousness of the jobs ahead on water and transportation, on public education, demand this kind of ongoing conversation. So we're glad to welcome them back to Austin for that weekend.
Okay, and tickets, tell me about that.
So the tickets are on sale now. There's I believe the ticket price is about to go up. You know, we've tried to make the affordable a ticket price a feature of the festival every year, because average people should be able to come. It shouldn't be a price barrier. And over the course of that weekend, with one ticket, you get access to all the content, the Friday night keynote, the track content on Saturday, more than 35 programs in different locations on the University of Texas at Austin campus on Saturday. Really interesting content on Sunday. We have parties. We have food trucks on the South Mall. We have walking tours of the LBJ Presidential Library, the Watergate papers at the Harry Ransom Center, the Capitol, the State Cemetery. It's really a weekend to dive into this world.
You know, let me ask you, Evan, with people who are so interested with what Texas is doing, I'm wondering if you're seeing a growing increase in the number of people going to this festival.
Well, we are. I mean, we're expected to have double the number of people attending this year as we did in last year's festival. Last year was double the previous year. We have a problem, Sally, in the States, not a new problem. We have a low level of voter turnout and engagement. In the 2010 elections, this is the height of the Tea Party. We were dead last among the 50 states in Washington, D.C. in the number of our voters who were eligible to vote and turned out to vote. 36% voter turnout. That's abysmal. We need people to be paying more attention to what's going on in the state, because they have a stake in the outcomes of these fights. The outcomes affect them, and yet they decline to even participate. We need to get more people to come to events like this.
So no excuse to get out there and learn what's going on in your own backyard. And we'll make it fun.
It's not going to just be boring and wonky.
Well, you have food trucks out there.
And we have food trucks. That's exactly right. It'll be great.
Evan, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Sally, thanks so much.
My pleasure.